Welcome to Panels and Borders. I'm Dominic, and I got a bit of Star Wars news. Usually when I do Star Wars news, it's negative, but this is actually something positive and kind of got me excited, which is why I wanted to talk about it, because it's good Star Wars news for a change. The looming Obi-Wan TV series is another hint at Disney's planned streaming tactics. So apparently, they're going to do an Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series for Disney+. Now, there was talks of a Obi-Wan Kenobi movie for a few years, and it's something I think they should have went with that instead of Han Solo. But anyway, I'll go and read a little bit of the article and see what it says. Ewan McGregor is reportedly in talks to return to his iconic Star Wars role in an Obi-Wan Kenobi series for Disney's Disney Plus streaming service. If the series actually makes it to screens, it'll mark the end of years of effort to get an Obi-Wan movie made, and it will show how Disney intends to use its streaming service. The original plan was to make a feature-length theatrical Star Wars spin-off, according to a Hollywood Reporter story from 2017. Those plans were eventually scrapped following the lackluster success of two Star Wars spin-offs, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and Solo, a Star Wars story. A third spin-off movie was planned, but Disney and Lucasfilm decided to forego those plans entirely, pushing back the future Star Wars installments, including a trilogy from the last director, Rian Johnson, and a trilogy from Game of Thrones directors. I like how they leave The Last Jedi out as a reason why Disney got cold feet with all the Star Wars stuff. I like how they kind of throw Rogue One in there instead, when it was the two movies that did it was Last Jedi and Solo. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. Star Wars exhaustion hit. Basically, Disney CEO Bob Iger told The Hollywood Reporter, "As I look back, I think the mistake that I made, I take the blame. Was a little too much too fast, but even a theatrical disappointment, at least by the standards of a major conglomerate like Disney, which is becoming used to billion-dollar box office hits, could be a perfect fit for a streaming service, and Disney execs are clearly thinking about those dynamics." And it just goes on to talk about they're going to do another TV series also with Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk's Rogue One characters, Cassian Andor and K2SO from Rogue One. That one I'm not excited about. I don't care about that one. And then they got the other one, the Mandalorian, that's in development. So this, I think, is good news. But now the only thing about this is how would you this is going to be restrictive on storytelling, because at this point where the movie is going to take place, Obi-Wan Kenobi is basically a hermit, and he's in hiding from the Empire, so you can't really have him going around doing too much and stirring up too much trouble. So I'd be curious how they'd handle this. So now what they did there was an Obi-Wan Kenobi novel that came out a few years ago. It's been a couple of years since I read it, but it was a pretty good book, and it was basically all about Obi-Wan Kenobi when he first arrives on Tatooine and how he gets set up there and all that. And he kind of gets sucked into this battle between these moisture farmers and Tusken raiders, Sand people. And the story was pretty good, but in the book he had to help them, but at the same time hide the fact that he was a Jedi Knight. Because at this point, remember, he's in hiding. So I don't know what, it seems like a good idea. I'd love to see Ewan McGregor do Obi-Wan Kenobi again, because he was easily the best thing about the prequels. But to have a long-going series of him on Tatooine, I don't know how you would actually do that. And with the Empire out hunting Jedi Knights and all that, because he's technically supposed to be in hiding. So I'd be curious to see how they would actually handle that, and what kind of room they'd have for him to have adventures and stuff. So, but the other thing with all these Disney's, I don't know, Disney is in this weird place that people are handling Star Wars. In this strange place that they got 3 series coming out. They got The Mandalorian, the characters from Rogue One, and now they're talking about doing this Obi-Wan Kenobi show. All their shows and everything, they seem to be stuck. And same thing with the Han Solo spin-off movie and the Rogue One spin-off movie. They all seem to be stuck in one time frame, that 20-year gap between episode 3 and 4. So I don't know why they don't get out of that gap and do something like the Knights of the Old Republic, even though they're talking about doing a trilogy of that. But there's such a vast time period in Star Wars of areas that you can do shows. that would not mess up any kind of canon, or they could do a show that takes place 100 years into the future, past the original trilogy. That would be interesting to see what they could do with that. Then you would have a completely clean slate, fresh start. That'd be, or you could even do 1,000 years in the future. Like there's, as far as time frames goes, you got a lot to work with there when it comes to the world of the Star Wars universe. So that's the one thing that I find very curious. They seem to be stuck in that 20-year gap with all their spin-off movies and all the series that they want to do. Or have a series that takes place after Return of the Jedi up until, you know, The Force Awakens or something. I don't know. You could do something to get out of that 20-year gap, or something that takes way before the prequels or something like that. But either way, though, I'm really curious. This is the first Star Wars news in a while that's got me a little bit excited. And this is a series that I would give it a chance and I would check it out. The other series, The Mandalorian, and the other ones have really got no interest. But this is something that I would be interested in watching. So that's everything I got to say in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and I will see you at the next one. Thank you to all of my subscribers, and thank you for watching this video. And if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification when new videos are uploaded.